Ferrari now leaves Europe in a bid for its first Grand Prix victory of the 2025 season, 16 races in. Though F1's next stop in Azerbaijan is one of 5 on the current calendar it's never won. Along with Jeddah in Saudi Arabia, Miami and Las Vegas in the USA, and Lusail, located in Qatar-capital Doha. The Prancing Horse had high hopes for a breakthrough at its home race at Monza, where the red team celebrated the 50th anniversary of the late great Niki Lauda's maiden title for Ferrari. With a special livery, team kit and branded tram in Milan that was filled with memorabilia for fans to enjoy over the weekend.
For sure, it's a lot about legacy in general, but this one with Niki is a bit special for sure. That for us it's important. It's 50 years back in Monza where he won the title, and it's a special test. And for me personally, Niki is my idol when I was 10, and it's even more special for me.
Ferrari, of course, won't give up, even though it's realistic about McLaren being a dominant force, and that it's actually fighting to be best of the rest, with enough stats to prove it can turn things around.
It's true that this season it's a bit more difficult, that McLaren is flying. Behind McLaren we are fighting with Mercedes and Red Bull. And they are dominating, but as Ferrari, you can't come to Monza without the win somewhere in your mind. That we did very well last year, we did a pole position 2 years ago.
But while Ferrari is looking down the barrel of its first winless campaign since 2021, it's at least had a pole position in Hungary to beat its barren years from 1991 to 1993, when it did neither. Like with much of the grid, there's a lot riding on 2026. Cadillac's 2026 preparations are on schedule, with the American startup squad already laying up its first 2 race chassis, and 2 experienced drivers signed in veterans Sergio Perez and Valtteri Bottas. Both have top team expertise, crucial to building a Formula One team up from scratch across multiple international sites.
I think it would help a lot, with the driver pairing that Cadillac Formula One team went. They're definitely getting an experience from me and Checo from multiple teams. We've been both through good and bad times in F1. We've both been winning races. We've worked with the teams that has been winning championships. So I think we can bring a lot, and I really can't wait to get started with that.
Both Checo and Bottas are fan favorites, but the Finn has developed a cult following with his personality and social media posts, though things are now a lot more serious, with the project intensifying.
There's a mountain of work to do, and first official test is already in January, and it's going to come quick. But everything from what I've heard is on plan, and of course I'll keep giving my input the best I can to make sure we're ready. But then in the end, it is kind of a startup. We're starting from scratch, from a blank page, and we just really got to take it step by step.
Perez has more experience, but Bottas has 4 more wins and 17 more poles. The Finn, though, will serve a 5-place grid penalty on return due to a collision at the 2024 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Both drivers are reportedly inked with Cadillac through to the end of 2027, but they'll be watching on as ex-IndyCar racer Colton Herta dovetails his test role with an F2 race drive. The US is keen for a competitive homegrown driver on the F1 grid, one who can fight at the front and, in time, become America's first world champion since Mario Andretti in 1978. The race is on at Cadillac. Mercedes flies out to Azerbaijan cautious, knowing that it has to max out its 1-lap pace and deliver a flawless weekend operationally to be able to fight for pole and a spot on the podium. The Silver Arrows are currently 3rd in the constructors' standings, with a 20-point deficit to second-placed Ferrari, both of which have enjoyed just 1 podium in the last 5 races. But Simone Resta, Mercedes' deputy technical director, says the squad can deliver standout results if it's on top of its game in Baku.
We have to be mindful that McLaren has been strong the whole year in almost all the conditions, and also recently Verstappen has been quite strong as well. So it's going to be tough, it's going to be difficult, and we'll have to make sure that we maximize our one-lap performance, and operationally we execute at the best without any error.
Resta says that Baku could be a strong circuit for Mercedes W16, given George Russell closed out the podium last year. But the competition with its immediate rivals is too close to call. The Silver Arrows, though, have continued to support its rookie, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, following another tough round in Italy where he was 9th, as a result of a 5-second penalty for forcing Williams driver Alex Albon off track and wheel spin at the start.
Essentially, Kimi, after quite a consistent sequence of start practice, he wasn't able to go right on the target in terms of clutch position, and that essentially created a lot of wheel spin in the first phase of the start, and he found himself basically in position P10 after turn 1.
The pressure is rising on Antonelli, with Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff labeling the Italian's Monza weekend as underwhelming, and that he needs to stop carrying the trauma of previous mistakes to be in the moment for the next session. It'll be all eyes on Mercedes in Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan's sports fans may be currently focused on the nation's efforts to qualify for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, with its team facing rivals France, Ukraine, and Iceland in Group D. But it'll soon be all eyes on the capital and the Baku city circuit for the 9th Grand Prix to be held in Azerbaijan, the penultimate on its current deal that goes through to 2026. Last year's Azerbaijan Grand Prix was a thriller, care of a champion's drive from McLaren's Oscar Piastri, who expertly handled massive pressure to keep pole sitter Ferrari's Charles Leclerc behind for 30 straight laps and take his then second career win. Piastri finished 3 places up on teammate Lando Norris, who protected him ahead of his pit stop en route to 4th, as part of a fight back from a shock Q1 exit that left him 15th on the grid. The race, though, ended under the virtual safety car, following the crash between Ferrari's Carlos Sainz and Red Bull's Sergio Perez at the exit of Turn 2 on the penultimate lap. Fast forward to 2025, and there's expectations for even closer racing at Baku's temporary street circuit. With Azerbaijan going a step softer on tires, Austin and Mexico have a harder hard tire, with Brazil's trio a full step harder. Singapore, Las Vegas, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi are the same as 2024. McLaren will again be favourite for pole and the win, with the squad able to lift the Constructors' Championship if it outscores Ferrari by just 9 points. For its second straight crown and win in Baku. Red Bull has 4 overall, with Mercedes the remaining 3, including 2016, when Nico Rosberg won the race under the European Grand Prix banner. But anything can happen at the flat-out street track, which winds through the old city and past the Baku fortress. The Baku city circuit is on the shores of the Caspian Sea, with the 6-kilometer track featuring 20 turns, 12 left and 8 right, with a top speed of 355 kilometers per hour. Charles Leclerc reset the lap record in 2019 for Ferrari. There are 2 DRS activation zones between turns 2 and 3 and along the main straight, with 2 DRS detection points. Wild street racing at the crossroads of Europe and Asia. It's time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Thanks for watching. To stay up to speed on all things Formula One, make sure you hit the subscribe button.